I'm very excited about where Target sits as we think about the next 5 years and how we build on the momentum that we built in our business.
A furious storm has erupted across the celebrity business world, and the center of the controversy is none other than Blake Lively. Allegedly, her beloved beauty care line has been completely banned by Target's CEO. Yes, an absolute corporate shutdown.
The conclusion here, I have said this since before, long before this ever broke out between her and Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively is not a good person, that she has proven herself not to be a kind person.
There are text messages that refute every single thing in that complaint.
On Blake Lively's claims that she was allegedly harassed by this guy when they shot the movie, It Ends With Us, a film about domestic violence. And was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it.
The New York Times apparently reviewed 1,000 or more pages of text messages. They would have seen it. Justin never wanted to hurt her, never wanted to be negative to her. And it's all over.
Make it even more explosive. Justin Baldoni's lawyer just unleashed a bombshell lawsuit update. And that single move appears to have triggered a chain reaction absolutely nobody saw coming.
Know for a fact that the mainstream media will lie and they will smear on behalf of their powerful friend. I believe in due process, which is why I always read the facts of the case before accepting the media narrative.
They shared those together. They concocted a complaint that they filed with the Civil Rights Division. They omitted texts that would have provided contact.
They were plotting with the New York Times for months to smear him, and there may be some important evidence. Well, she filed a civil rights complaint in Los Angeles, and then within 24 hours, the New York Times had the scoop. They published the complaint in its entirety, and it looked...
This stunning development has rapidly become the subject of every high-level boardroom and every household's gossip circles. It's intense, it's explosive, and it's dragging some of Hollywood's biggest names into a spiraling fiasco that could completely reshape how we view celebrity-backed brands. But how did things reach this point? And why is the Target CEO being so ruthless towards such an enormously popular beauty line?
Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, he accuses Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively of colluding with the New York Times. Do you guys remember what the article was actually entitled that they actually released on 12/21? We can bury anyone inside a Hollywood smear machine. But they believed her narrative instantly because the allegations were so strong. And I just kind of held fire because I don't trust the New York Times to save my life.
Shitty product with atrocious marketing. You have yourself a disastrous brand that will go out of business.
Another bombshell, and this time it is pertaining to the New York Times. Amazing that you're not going to believe this, okay? It looks like Justin Baldoni may have a very strong case against the New.
Let's dive in, examine every detail, and see how both sides intend to battle their way through this raging scandal. Because once Baldoni's attorney came crashing forward with those revelations, it sparked a fuse that's not disappearing anytime soon. It all began with scattered rumors circulating through the hidden corners of.
If you look at that URL, look at the date on that, 12/16/2000.
Frustrated customers are not only offloading these subpar products, but are also flooding social media with viral outcries demanding accountability. Blake's beauty brand is so bad they are donating her products to Goodwill.
You did not know both of their lawsuits have been consolidated into one legal showdown instead of these two separate lawsuits.
At the Reynolds penthouse in Manhattan, where Ryan Reynolds allegedly bullied Justin so badly that a Sony representative, and her biggest takeaway was, it was so nasty.
Hollywood whispers suggested that Blake Lively was caught in tense negotiations with major retailers. People familiar with the situation said this wasn't your typical contract renegotiation. It was filled with suspicion, a touch of personal score settling, and more than a few calculated power plays. Lively's brand had climbed to new heights.
Hey, Lily, you want to do the honors?
No, you go ahead. I need to take it in from here.
And used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. And we're carefully considering other people that will be sued.
There's just so much more to this story, and the media's already like self-flagellating. Oh, we were too mean to Blake. And now you see text messages from Blake Lively comparing herself. She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift.
The kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, documents, which prove exactly what she did to take over.
Frustrated customers aren't merely unloading these disappointing products, but are also flooding social media with viral complaints demanding accountability. Blake's beauty brand is apparently so disappointing that customers are donating her products to Goodwill, winning over fans through ethically sourced products and an earthy vibe that was the perfect reflection of her squeaky, clean public image. Then, out of nowhere, Target suddenly pulled her entire product line from shelves. Shoppers began noticing empty spaces in the beauty aisles, and the brand's devoted fans were furious. The official reason remained concealed, hidden beneath corporate statements about business priorities. But behind closed doors, a fiery rumor erupted that the Target CEO was furious over a private arrangement involving Justin Baldoni's camp. When that rumor exploded publicly, everyone wanted to know how Baldoni was tied to all this. Apparently, there was more than a casual connection. His attorney had reportedly been preparing a case for months. And once that lawsuit was supposedly ready, rumors claimed it contained startling allegations about top-level retailer behavior. Was Blake Lively trapped in the crossfire? Or was she actually the reason this corporate giant felt threatened? People were stunned, especially because Lively had never publicly associated herself with anything scandalous. Her image was squeaky clean. So, how did she suddenly land at the heart of this firestorm? Fans began assembling little clues, mentions of secret meetings, old pictures of Lively and Baldoni smiling together, and cryptic social media posts suggesting major changes were coming. Still, nobody could have anticipated the magnitude of Target's response. Sides were forming, and every influencer and insider had something to say. Some argued the brand ban was excessively harsh, an overreaction driven by the CEO's personal grudge. Others believed Lively had cards of her own to play, ones that could make Target tremble beneath legal threats from Baldoni's camp. But that wasn't the complete story. The Target CEO is reportedly assertive, certainly no stranger to controversy. In the past, he's made sweeping moves that left observers furious, from suddenly eliminating entire product lines to cutting philanthropic partnerships whenever they failed to match the company's strategic image. This time, however, his actions seemed far more personal. Observers wondered whether some private meltdown or unresolved tension had pushed him beyond his limit. According to insiders, the CEO had been on a warpath concerning so-called brand integrity. Word spread that he felt betrayed by celebrities who used the retailer for rapid expansion, then shifted toward other lucrative deals once their popularity surged. Could that be the true source of the tension with Blake Lively? Maybe he thought she was offering her brand to higher bidders while disregarding the terms that made their partnership successful. Meanwhile, employees described whispered conversations inside executive suites. The atmosphere was thick with concern about possible lawsuit fallout. Justin Baldoni's lawyer was reportedly said to have collected a treasure trove of damaging details. Some believed it could even contain allegations concerning how the retailer manages contractual commitments with celebrities. Naturally, many questioned whether this might expose a scandal that would eclipse simple product disagreements. Then came speculation that the CEO's ban against Lively's line was designed as a preemptive move. If he suspected a lawsuit was brewing involving Lively's brand agreements, removing her products could have been a way to gain leverage. Or perhaps it was outright punishment, a warning to any star who dared cross certain unwritten boundaries. People close to Lively, however, insist she did nothing improper. They say this appeared without warning, and that she's being used as a high-profile scapegoat in a larger corporate conflict, and what happened next would stun everyone. Blake Lively doesn't seem like the type to simply stand aside and watch her accomplishments disappear. True to her grounded yet fiery personality, she reportedly launched her own legal and PR countermeasures. Sources claimed she was furious after hearing about secret negotiations designed to keep her brand off shelves. She'd worked tirelessly to build a loyal customer following, and fans had praised her for bringing authenticity and honesty to an industry frequently criticized for shallow marketing. The ban threatened not only her bottom line, but her reputation too. After all, a product removed from one of the nation's biggest retailers can raise questions, even if she's supposedly the victim. While the official statement from her team remained carefully worded and offered little clarity about what had actually happened or why the decision had been made behind those closed corporate doors, as speculation continued spreading rapidly across social media. Remain composed, something along the lines of, "We respect Target's decision and are evaluating our options." Rumor has it that behind closed doors, Blake was gathering heavyweight friends and legal experts. Friends of the star said the actress was determined to respond, but not through cheap shots or petty accusations. Instead, she intended to demonstrate her brand's value through a strong campaign spotlighting its philanthropic partnerships and community initiatives. Yet, at the same time, she wasn't prepared to let the Target CEO's decision become some permanent decree. If he believed banning her products would be the end, he could be facing a rude awakening. Because the lawsuit update from Baldoni's attorney had just reached everyone's desk, sparking speculation that Lively might coordinate her legal position. With Baldoni, people began discussing joint strategies, or perhaps sharing damaging information that could expose Target's corporate secrets publicly. The connection between Lively's campaign for brand justice and Baldoni's rumored effort to expose questionable corporate tactics created an unstoppable wave of tension. But then again, was everything orchestrated from the beginning? Some cynics argued that Lively understood exactly how to weaponize Baldoni's lawsuit for her own benefit. Others maintained she was blindsided and only learned about these new legal angles afterward. Whatever the truth, the brand was preparing to collide head-on with a determined celebrity force. Yet, that was barely touching the surface. Justin Baldoni's attorney entered the stage with a bombshell strategy nobody anticipated. The man behind the paperwork reportedly has a reputation for being fearless, willing to challenge behemoth corporations, exposing questionable practices and forcing them to cough up enormous settlements. If there was even a hint of malpractice on the retailer's side, this lawyer was supposedly the person capable of sniffing it out. Rumors suggested that part of the lawsuit explained how certain celebrity brands received favorable treatment while others were sidelined according to ever-changing personal judgments from senior executives. This had people wondering about possible discrimination or, at least, favoritism that could become the legal foundation of a huge scandal. If proven, the consequences for Target's public image could be catastrophic, especially during an era when public opinion can shift overnight. So, how does Blake Lively fit into this legal puzzle? The central theory is that Lively's brand could provide evidence of the retailer's inconsistency in managing high-profile collaborations. The lawyer's strategy appeared centered around a narrative where the retailer routinely attracts celebrity entrepreneurs with attractive deals, but systematically ends partnerships if they step out of line, such as negotiating with a direct competitor or challenging contractual terms. And if that's where the lawsuit was headed, it portrayed Lively not merely as a casualty, but as Exhibit A, demonstrating that the retailer's heavy-handed retaliation exists. The details remain confidential. But one thing is certain, the lawsuit arrived at the worst possible moment for the CEO. He was already dealing with declining public support after earlier controversies. And with Lively's powerful fan base, that negative wave was only likely to accelerate. But even that was merely the tip of the iceberg. The rumor mill exploded over who else might be dragged into this fiasco. Almost overnight, other prominent celebrities were mentioned, from stars who previously partnered with the retailer to superstars rumored to be next for an exclusive product arrangement. A-listers like Taylor Swift, Beyoncé, or even Ryan Reynolds were whispered about in certain circles, although no confirmed statement surfaced. It wasn't solely about corporate deals either. Social media erupted with fans and critics alike. Some demanded Target immediately restore Blake Lively's line, saying they would boycott the retailer if it refused. Others argued Lively should have known better than to become involved with a questionable brand arrangement initially. The conversation became a battlefield, with one side portraying Lively as a creative visionary who had been wronged, while the other argued that major business deals always carry risks. Meanwhile, Lively's allies, a mixture of close friends, brand ambassadors, and prominent supporters, launched a quiet online campaign to keep her products relevant. Tags promoting her beauty line appeared, and influencers praised the formula's quality, the brand's philanthropic efforts, and Lively's personal touch. It was a surge of public goodwill that eclipsed the negative chatter. Now, Imagine the tension behind closed doors at Target's headquarters. Every day, fresh voices demanded answers. Shareholders, executive boards, store managers, everyone wanted to know whether these lawsuits and bans would damage the company's bottom line. The CEO, known for his relentless confidence, might have found himself trapped by a problem that PR spin alone couldn't solve, but the full extent of chaos was still unfolding. As the legal machinery turned, questions multiplied across the company. Executives feared the controversy could expand beyond Lively's products and become a broader examination of Target's celebrity partnerships. Meanwhile, lawyers prepared for another round of filings, while fans waited anxiously for the next development that might finally reveal what was happening behind the scenes publicly. The entire narrative became less about beauty products and more about corporate ethics, power moves, and personal vendettas. Some business analysts speculated that the Target CEO was sending a chilling message to any celebrity who challenges him. Others believed it was a matter of convenience that Lively and Belle's rumored alliance represented a threat so big he felt compelled to strike first. Stories emerged that the CEO had previously faced intense legal run-ins over product liability in smaller brand partnerships. Though hush money might have quietly resolved those issues, it left behind a pattern. Each time he sensed a legal ambush, he'd take abrupt action to show he wouldn't be strong-armed. If the rumor holds true, Lively's ban could be consistent, with that pattern designed to prove that nobody is untouchable, even a beloved Hollywood actress with legions of fans. Still, there's another angle. Maybe the CEO genuinely believes Lively's brand was stepping out of bounds by negotiating parallel deals and harming the exclusivity Target once enjoyed. If that's the case, in his eyes, banning her line was not only justified, but necessary. The real question is whether these behind-the-scenes negotiations truly existed or if this entire ordeal rests on fabricated suspicions. A swirl of internal memos alleged to have been leaked hinted that several mid-level executives disagreed with the CEO's approach, worrying it would lead to massive backlash. Some staff even considered resigning in protest, pointing to the brand's significance in driving store traffic, especially among younger demographics. Still, within the halls of corporate power, the CEO's word is law, at least until a lawsuit proves otherwise. And that's when the next chapter began. Just as speculation reached a fever pitch, Baldwin's lawyer took another bold step, allegedly sending a letter to Target's legal team demanding immediate clarifications and threatening to expose any wrongdoing in excruciating detail. The text of this letter, though unofficially leaked, set social media ablaze with talk of a possible trial, depositions, and public testimonies that might drag in heavy hitters from both sides. This development was said to leave the CEO visibly rattled. Sure, he'd weathered storms before, but rarely did they involve someone with the public goodwill of Blake Lively, let alone the potent legal acumen of Baldwin's attorney. At this point, any behind-the-scenes settlement might come at a huge cost, both financially and reputationally. Blake Lively's brand, on the other hand, showed signs of thriving in the online market. Fans were flocking to buy her products through e-commerce platforms. Influencers on TikTok and Instagram posted rapid-fire reviews praising the brand, overshadowing the negativity from the ban. Some even believed that being banned from Target ironically gave the line a renegade allure, attracting curious shoppers who wanted to see why it was so dangerous that a megastore had to block it. But beneath the triumphs lay a deep uncertainty. If the lawsuit moves forward, depositions could force Lively, Baldoni, and possibly the CEO to testify under oath. That scenario would likely rip open any hidden truths and paint an unfiltered picture of how these big deals really go down. And once the public glimpses that raw side of celebrity commerce, the blowback might be impossible to contain. The only question left, would either party be wise enough to broker peace before it became a total meltdown? Or was the window for that kind of resolution already slammed shut? Now brace yourself for the final showdown. So, where does this leave everyone? Blake Lively is pressing onward, her passion for clean, authentic beauty products burning brighter despite the stinging ban. Target CEO is dug in, defending the decision as if it's a line in the sand he refuses to cross back over. And Justin Baldoni's lawyer continues to circle, dropping updates that can jolt the entire conversation. If this drama has proven anything, it's that the powerful and famous are never immune to explosive conflicts, and that behind every shiny product launch, there just might be a battlefield of legal threats and personal grudge matches. Whether you side with Blake or stand by the retailer, one thing's clear. The stakes keep climbing with every twist. Now, everyone is left wondering who will blink first, or if it will all spiral into a massive corporate and legal spectacle that redefines the rules of celebrity brand deals forever. Because in a game where reputations, fortunes, and pride are on the line, walking away unscathed might not be an option for anyone involved.